Hey everybody. So I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. But what I want to do is show you a little bit about my 3D modeling process for duplicating parts. I had a question about how I do that, and I'm sure people do it differently, but this is how I do it. This is not going to be a CAD tutorial. There are many different CAD programs. I'm using a Libre Atom version 22. I have used FreeCAD in the past. I have used Fusion 360 in the past. I have used Tinkercad in the past. Pros and cons to everything. This is what I'm using right now. I quite like it. So we'll just leave that at that. The part we're modeling today is this D-pad hat thing. Came off I think an old Tartarus. It's not what the current D-pads look like, but really what I'm wanting to do is get the profile of this, and because what I'm doing is I'm going to make a D-pad for like a drop-in replacement for Tartarus and Orb Weaver. So the first thing I do is trusty calipers. Let's just let's measure the diameter. We're at 27.6, so we'll just call it 28. We'll round up. And I'm going to make a sketch here. This is parametric 3D modeling, by the way. So a lot of the terminology that I use is going to be transferable between different apps. So I'm going to make a sketch on the XY plane, and we're going to start with a circle. There's my circle. And what did I say this was? I forgot already. 28. We'll do 27.5. We'll keep it there. So I'm going to set a dimension on this circle at 27.5 millimeters. There. And that's the base. And so the way these parametric modelers work very often is you do 2D sketches, you constrain them, and then you extrude them to either add or remove material. So I've got this sketch here. Let's extrude this. And the thickness of this should be 687, 697. So we'll call it 7 millimeters. So it's 7 millimeters tall. And there we go. You know what? Nope, that's not right. I don't want the height of the full thing. I only want the height of this half before the risers. I'm not sure what else to call those, so let's just measure that. I did it the full height. I don't want to do it the full height. Just measuring that. And it's 3.75. So let's just do that, 3.75. Let's change that extrusion. 3.75 millimeters. That's better. Now I want to put the up, down, left, right cross section on it. So let's make a new sketch and put it on that surface on the top. And I'm going to do some sketching and then we'll measure. So I'm going to add an external reference to that profile, the circular profile. So now I can reference that. And we're going to go, this is a line, so I want it to look something like this. Right? Okay. So it added a bunch of constraints in there. I may not want all of those. Let's just, I like to delete all these constraints, because my one complaint so far with a Libre Atom is that when you sketch, and maybe there's a way to disable it, it automatically adds constraints for you, and I do not like that. I much prefer how FreeCAD does it. Oop. I probably remove one too many. Yeah, I much prefer how FreeCAD does it, where it doesn't add any constraints for you. So I want to make all of these vertical. So let's select that and bloop, bloop. No. But that's my only real complaint with this. I'm making all these horizontal. FreeCAD had a lot of other things that I very much did not like, that kind of made it a non-starter. All right, those are still coincidence on the circular thing. That's good. That's what I want. Now I want to make all of these lines equal in length. Oop. Good. Now when I move one, they all, yeah, perfect. Now I need to finish by putting arcs on those. So let's do that. Center, left, right, center, left, right, center. I'm going to get this wrong now. Side to side. That side, that side. Now I've got these arcs. Now I need to constrain them. One way to do it is to... Oh, that was not ideal. One way to do it is to bring this radius in, but first let me actually set a length on these lines here. So let's measure how thick these are. Um, 11 millimeters. Okay. I'm going to do it not by those. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to do it like this. So a reference line from there to there, and I'm going to dimension this line. 11. And that should enforce. It does. Good. Now I should be able to more easily constrain these arcs without the whole sketch going crazy. So one way I found to do it is to coincidence the radius, basically. So to the center. So the center point of this arc. Let's do that. Let's try it. Yes. Yes. That's working. And that's fully constrained. So now I can now extrude that. And the full height was 7 millimeters, I think, is what we came up with. Yeah, we'll call it 7. So the difference between that was 3.75. So this needs to be 4.15. Boom. And that's how that looks. So that's a good start. Now what I would like to do is make this kind of curved profile. So if you notice on this D-pad here, it's not flat across the top. It curves in. It like indents. So I'm gonna model that here. And one way to do it, I'm sure there are other ways to do it, but the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to revolve a cut. So, but that's perpendicular. So I'm going to put another sketch on this plane here, this YZ plane. And let's reset the view. Ooh, I did not like that. That's fine. Sometimes the camera can be wonky. It doesn't really matter overly. Let's use these camera controls and try that again. Top, I believe, is what I need. Maybe. Let's just do it on that plane. It doesn't really matter. Okay, that's more what I want. So I need to kind of scoop this out. So let's do a line. And then a line. And I'm kind of making it wonky on purpose so it doesn't auto add those constraints for me. And then an arc. Okay. Now what I need to do is bring in some reference. What did I select? No, I don't want that. I want I only want this edge. Yes. Okay, perfect. So let's add some constraints. Let's make that vertical and let's make that horizontal. And let's make the distance from center. Oh, what did I do? That's going to make it not what I want. That's what I want. Horizontal distance is 0. Okay. And then I want the distance from here to here to be 0. Now I need to work on this arc here. Let's make this, let's set a length on this. I believe it was 4.15. Yes, that's much better. Now I should be able to futz with. Let's also set the height. Okay. Now I can mess with this arc. Let's see if I can do this. So let's start by making. That might have done it. Yep. Okay, cool. Deactivate sketch. Now, instead of adding material, I'm going to cut and I'm going to revolve it. axis. I believe I want the z-axis. And yeah. That might have been too aggressive, but I can tweak that. But you see, that's how I kind of cut out that section there. I can probably reduce the height. Let's do that. I'm not happy with. All I need to do is come right here to this dimension and change it to like 3 millimeters to make that less extreme. A little more. Let's make it like a 2 millimeter cut. Yeah, that looks better. Cool. There's a lot more detail that I could add here, but that's doing pretty good. Let's put a screw hole because I'm planning on putting a screw in this. So let's just do new sketch on the XY plane. Reset the view, and this is easy, just a circle. And I know that my screws are M3 bolts, so 3 millimeter for the screw post, like for the hole itself. And let's cut that through all. All right, and then let's countersink that head. Again on the X, no. I gotta be more careful with this. It will not let me put one on this surface, I bet. What's going on? That's why, okay, because yeah, this is a non-planar face, which means it's not flat. So what I need to do is actually make a plane. I'm going to reference a plane. I'm going to offset. I'm going to set it on the XY plane, but I'm going to offset it. I could do this much more exactly, but we did 3.75 plus 2, so that's 5 point. I'm close. Let's see if that does it. So now I can sketch on that plane. Let's see if this works. Activate sketch on that plane. Is that at the right height? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's make another circle. And the head of these screws, I'm going to make up a dimension because I don't know what it is. I think it's like, let's just say it's 5 millimeters because I'm not sure, but you'll get the idea. And then let's extrude that down by, I don't know, 3. I think that should be enough. But reverse it. Yeah, I need to bring that plane up a little bit. Let's bring that plane up. And redo that. Okay. That might be too deep, but you get the idea. I'll be able to countersink a screw in there. And just for giggles, let's cut out the bottom because I don't want all that material on the bottom. Let's circle. And I believe we made the main base 27 millimeters. So let's give it a 2 millimeter wall, which means you need to make it 4 smaller. So this needs to be 23. Okay. And we'll just cut that up by, we'll cut that up by to 1.5. Okay. And that's a really basic D-pad hat. Just for the sake of brevity, there are some things I'm not going to do in this video, but I would angle 4 different planes for each of these surfaces and put like a different symbols so we know which way is up, left, right, down. And then I would, I'm going to need to make probably some sort of harness or box on the bottom for the post to fit into to be screwed through. But otherwise, this is basically done. And then you can do fun stuff like add some fillets, make all these edges nice and rounded. Like that. You could do stuff like that. I missed 2. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I model parts. I hope that makes sense. Hope that helps you. I find that I can get really dimensionally accurate stuff this way. Anyways, hope that helps you. And yeah, thanks.